day, Dawns ARKS! Welcome everyone to your weekly Phantasy Star Online 2 podcast, recorded live on November 15th, 2020. I'm one of your hosts, PrinceBrightstar, and with me is Xance. Go ahead and say hello.
Hello there, everyone! And welcome, Lord Samuel.
Lord Samuel, yes, good to see you here today. We got an interesting show here today. We had quite the drop this week for PSO2 Global. Plus, we also had something kind of unexpected happen. The Phantasy Star Portable 2 Infinity patch actually dropped, days after that trailer came out? So,
yep.
What is going on?
It was actually about a week, I believe.
Gotcha. But yeah, it's like suddenly everything Phantasy Star related is happening all within the span of, what is this, like a couple of weeks here? And it's like, oh my goodness, it's like suddenly 2020 is turning good.
Well, on the Phantasy Star side, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously other things aren't doing so well, but at least Phantasy Star, it's good. But yeah, it's we got a pretty good sized show here. Xance, have you been up to anything aside from Phantasy Star as of late?
I mentioned to you in on our pre-setup that I've been playing RuneScape. That's
Gotcha.
Pretty much it.
Yeah, and for me, it's just been Phantasy Star for the last 3 or 4 weeks now. So it's like I really don't have much to talk about in my gaming life here aside from that. It's just everything is happening. It's oh my goodness. All right, well then, why don't we go ahead and start off with the first of our main topics, that being the last chapter of episode 5 releasing. And if we're gonna go over to the site here, we can see that it's basically chapter 6 that released. And this chapter basically wraps up everything that happened on Omega, at least for the time being. That's not that huge of a spoiler once we get into episode 6, but episode 5 wraps up. You learn basically everything that was actually going on Omega, what the truth of the world was, and then you also have sort of a battle being fought, not just only there on Omega, but also with Alma really stepping up in her big moment there finally. So it's good to see how all that played out in the end. And I'm not going to spoil.
And also, if I recall correctly, wasn't episode 5 supposed to be longer?
It was, and unfortunately the rebalance basically caused them to sort of have to quickly regather how the balance for the other classes worked, and that basically took time away from getting the story developed. And AK Diley, thank you for the raid there.
Yeah, thank you so much. Welcome everyone to the podcast.
Yep. But yeah, it's episode 5. Once you get to learning who was really behind everything and kind of how everything played out, the funny thing is a lot of those events also reflect things that we already know about Photoner history at this point as well. The fact that certain things were used to essentially feed the profound darkness. I'm not going to say too much more about that, just because that's all going to get, once again, re-reviewed at the start of episode 6. But yeah, the sort of the big thing that happens after the credit rolls, that basically sets up episode 6, and it's going to be quite the war that's coming.
Yeah, and Luther's laughing is great.
Yeah, definitely.
But I will say this, episode 6 is far better than episode 5, especially with it going back to the sci-fi element.
Yeah, it was nice of them to go to to go to a more medieval style, and the thing is that medieval style was never really a full-on thing in Phantasy Star.
never
except
was.
for in Phantasy Star 3 Generations of Doom. To some degree, you did have castles and such, but there was still a sci-fi theme behind it. You just had to get to a certain point in the game to actually understand what had actually happened and why that world had ended up as it did. And the original Phantasy Star, there was science fiction there way at the start, so it was like, that was really like the only one game where that ever became a thing. I suppose you could also make the argument for Phantasy Star Gaiden as well, on the Game Gear. That being on the planet Copto. But it was never really a theme for the Phantasy Star series, so it is nice that they're getting back to the real sci-fi roots now. And trust me, you're going to be seeing and participating in some huge Armada against Armada battles here.
Yep. And the level cap is going to be raised to 95. So this new campaign that they're doing right now, we'll talk about that coming up here. It's nice so to get everyone ready for when that level cap is going to hit.
Yep. That plus the release of the Phantom class as well at the same time.
Yep. Hopefully that comes out soon enough before the level cap, or like before these gold keys they're giving out expires, so that I could just use them all on Phantom.
I think it releases on December 9th. Or at least I think that's where we pegged it previously.
Okay, then that would fit in with before the keys expire then. So that's good.
It would, but we're not going to have a PSO2 day to help with the experience.
Yeah, that is true.
So, I don't know, maybe stack your roast turkeys up to 120 minutes. Anyway, let's move on to the rest of the new releases we had here this week. We have an AC Scratch Ticket Designer Dreams 2, which we'll be going over shortly. We also have the Fresh Find Shop offerings, which we went over last week on Dawns ARKS.
Yep.
We have the Phantasy Star Universe collaboration packs, which released this week. We have the seasonal event Thanksgiving Day, so we did call that one correctly. New permanent quest Regional Survey Remnants of a Parallel World. And you can also exchange certain 15-star weapons at Zig Shop, the Ophistia series, the Trailblazer Xion series, and the Atlas X series. And these are just...
I already have my Atlas EX, or my my Atlas Hander EX right now.
Nice. I got myself both an Ophistia sword as well as an Atlas X wired lance.
Yeah, I need to get my 15-star twin machine guns. I currently have the Lumiere ones right now, and they're working well, but I can tell the damage difference between my sword and my TMG.
Yeah, it's like no contest, especially because in that, and we should probably mention this now, in that Ultimate Quest that was released, you actually get a damage bonus in that if you're using a 15-star weapon versus a 14 and lower. So it's better to be bringing that in. That damage boost is going to last until around... it depends upon which weapon you've got, but the current 15 stars that are available, I think those last until around Depth 80, and then the Xion series lasts until around Depth 111, I think. At which point, then the boost is nullified, and then you're just sort of on your own at that. Say again?
At Depth 11, the boost is gone.
111.
Oh, 111. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm currently only at 25.
Gotcha. I'm at 34 right now. I decided to spend a little time clearing it on other classes so I could get titles, and I can say that as of right now, I have now hit 800 titles.
Congrats.
So I should be good on the second Amphitite Stone, as well as what's going to be coming up for the 800 title unlock, or at least that's why I'm predicting what's going to be the Liberate unlocker.
Nice. Yeah, I really should get on more because I'm actually running out of Meseta.
Me too. We finally had a week where the costumes were actually a reasonable price, or at least for male costumes.
Yeah, and along with that, it was just me getting some of the mats needed for these 14 stars and 15 stars that I've been getting. And yeah, I'm down to like 28 million Meseta now, when I was at 150 million.
You're doing better than me. I've only got like 14 right now. I still need to do my weekly, so that'll boost me back up somewhat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've been forgetting to do my weeklies on all my characters. That's another problem with that.
And now you're really encouraged to be on your alts every single day because of the Thanksgiving event. Because there's this thing whereby if you get a gathering fever going, you're gonna get 30 of the Thanksgiving badges.
Yep, and that means more turkeys, which means more EXP boosts.
Yep. Plus also the exchange where you can turn those turkey badges into Rising Weapon 4 badges.
Yeah, also that.
Yeah. So it's like Rising Weapon Badge 2 all over again here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's move on to the campaign that are going on here. This is just a brief word on them, and then we'll get to the actual text of them later. But there's a Tokyo bonus key gold distribution campaign going on. Quest trigger distribution for the festive song for Winged Ones trigger. That's the current urgent quest that was released this week. We got complete client orders, 11, that being when it was released. Clear story quest campaign, quest trigger distribution, Unceasing Madness trigger for next week. That is going to be your Dark Falls Gemini Buster quest, which is going to be...
Boy.
Yeah, that one's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm. And it's the one that I always say that if you play on super hard, you're going to fail.
And we do not have expert matching, so
Nope.
we're gonna have to tough it out with everybody else here.
Oh boy.
We've also got the urgent quest boosts, as well as actually there's gonna be 2 sets of urgent quest boosts here. It looks like one for this week, one for next week, and then also a quest trigger distribution on the 25th. That is likely going to be for the Dark Falls Persona fight.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so we do have the new urgent quest schedule as well, featuring Festive Song for Winged Ones. They have fixed a couple of issues here. They fixed a bug in which players could occasionally sell 12-star units with added unit skills. So, let's see. Due to this fix, 12-star units with added unit skills will not be able to be displayed or traded in the personal shop. In addition, if you have displayed 12-star units with added unit skills, the item will be withdrawn. Items that have been withdrawn will be placed in the OP team storage. That's a weird place to put that.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do if you're not in a team?
I think that's pretty much like the temporary storage, kind of.
Okay, I see what you're saying, yeah. Yeah, so then that would be... It's... You log in, and then there's a place to retrieve it. Yeah.
Yep.
They also fixed some in-game item names for better consistency. So the skill disc Fast Talus Throw was changed to Talus Fast Throw, and then accessory Sato Hat was changed to Chat Hat, which. Yeah,
Why?
Chat is technically the actual translation. Sato was a mistranslation on the original Phantasy Star Online.
Yeah, but Sato is iconic.
That's true as well. We also have, under Other here, an extension of the Bewitched Woods exploration boost to compensate for the November 4th emergency maintenance. So, experience earned is plus 100%, and the rare drop rate is plus 300%. And that will end on the 18th. In addition to that, they've also extended the daily Expedition boost to compensate for the November 4th maintenance as well. So, looks like as of right now, the Tokyo Exploration boost is going on here. And then tomorrow we have Daybreak Province and then Nightfall Province the day after. And that gives you an experience bonus, if I remember correctly from that one. Also, ARKS League rewards from October 21st have been distributed to players that did not receive them initially. You can pick that up from the Visiphone if it applies to you. And then there was also an issue where expired AC scratch ticket prize slips were not tradable at the swap shop number 2. Players that either sold or discarded their AC scratch ticket prize slips have been compensated with their respective AC scratch ticket prize shop. Or prize slips, rather.
That's good.
Alright, so let's now move into one of the big things that was released this week, the 15-star weapons.
Yes, the weapons that if you don't have, you're going to be severely underpowered compared to everyone.
Yep. You've had plenty of time to prepare for this, so there's no reason you shouldn't have this, unless you're just joining the game for the first time as of recent. So, to that, I would say get leveling.
Yep. Not that hard to level, honestly.
Not until you hit level 80 at the very least.
Yeah.
Alright, so first off, we have the 15-star Officio series weapons. And these weapons at plus 35 give you several weapon potentials. Dark Phantom level 3. Potency increases based on the Photon Blast gauge. A different effect is produced for different beasts when a Photon Blast is activated. So, what that means is, depending upon which mag you have, you'll have a different boost apply when you actually activate the Photon Blast. And I believe that will stack if you have multiple mags.
Oh, really?
I think so.
You've
also got Shield of the Dark Saint. Potency increases by 9% and creates a barrier that reduces damage taken at set intervals. Shield of the Dark Temptation gives you gives you a potency increase of 9% and creates a barrier that negates knockback at set intervals. So, really depends upon if you want to have knockback prevention or if you just want to take less damage. And good to hear that, Lord Samuel.
Nice. How badly was that mag?
I saw a picture of it. It was like something was 50, something was 70, I think.
Oh.
Let's see here. Up next, we have the Trailblazer Xion series weapons. And those have a weapon potential Photon Resurrection. Increases potency by 10%, and when photon points falls below a certain threshold, photon points recovers fully, and potency increases 3% more at a set time. So there is a cooldown on that, but it's a weapon that I carry to this day, even on the Japanese servers, just because when I know that I'm running out of photon points, I just switch over to the weapon, use a photon attack on that, and instantly I've got my photon points all back, and then I just switch back over to the weapon I was using before. So this is something that's going to carry you all the way through episode 6.
And honestly, that sounds extremely good for the classes that use up photon points a lot. I know Force is one of them. Twin machine guns, I ended up using photon points very quickly. Or like on Gunner.
Plus, I don't think we ever got the Orbit series, which was sort of the other photon battery type of weapon in this game. And lastly, we have the Atlas X series weapons here. Potential with that is it increases potency by 10%, and you can survive one fatal blow, and HP recovers gradually after activation.
Which is extremely good. That's basically a free Iron Will.
Exactly. Yeah, so if you're a hunter, it's not so important to you. Technically, for heroes as well, you have your own way of recovering your your thing, but for
but with Hero's Will, it only it's only useful once, but there is a ability that uses half of your hero gauge that restores it, but then it's on like a 8-minute cooldown, I believe, after that.
Gotcha.
So it is still extremely useful even for hero.
Okay. Yeah, so it's definitely going to be useful.
Yeah, hero.
Especially if you go all the way to the end of the survey ultimate quest that was just released. That's when something like that is really going to come into play.
Mm-hmm. Because that's when it just completely insta kills you if you don't have it.
Yeah, your HP bar, it means nothing to that boss. 999,999 damage every time you take a hit.
It's really dumb, but it's a good way. Like all the other deaths leading up to that point, is just teaching you to dodge all the time, every time.
Yep.
Know how all of his attacks are and because he telegraphs every single one of his attacks. So it's really easy to just dodge all of them.
Well, almost all the attacks. There's one that I can't figure out the tell on, and that's like where he just instantly sends out like 4 or 5 bullets at you.
Oh, like those dark bullet blasts that he sends out. Most of the time, like I know that after he does like those multiple sword things that he shoots out, he'll then dash back and then shoot out the dark blasts. Like most of the time, whenever he does that dark blast shootout, he'll just dash back.
Gotcha. I'll have to keep an eye out for that then. Maybe I just wasn't watching far enough back for the tell.
Yeah, and after the sword things, it is always followed up by those dark blast things most of the time.
Gotcha. All right. So the team over at putting the site together here has also provided an explanation of how you actually go about creating these weapons.
Oh, that's nice.
Yep. This really spells.
It was always up to the fans to make those kind of charts to showcase. Okay, this is what you need. This is what you need. This is what you need. Because the game never really lays it out that well for people.
Yep. So starting off with the Xion weapons here, to start it off, you need either 15 of the Void Aerobite fragments, or you can technically get the weapon as a drop from the urgent quest coming up on the 25th, or you can also get them from the Endless Rondo quest. Once you have that weapon, then you need to plus 35 that, and then you also need to plus 35 one detonation weapon, one Claudium weapon, one Allure weapon, one Zeri Air weapon, and you need another 150 Aerobite fragments. That then gets you up.
Those Aerobite fragments, you get them from the upcoming UQ, right?
Yep, exactly.
Right. Are they obtainable in the Endless right now?
I don't believe so. But that will then get you to the 14-star version of the weapon, at which point, which is called the Starquake weapon, or Starquake Xion rather. And then to upgrade that to the 15-star, then you need 400 X cubes and the Founder's Amphitrite Stone, which came with this month's mission pass.
Yep. It is the level 31.
Yep. Once episode 6 releases, there should also be one available at 700 titles. And then that gets you the 15-star Trailblazer Xion weapon.
Honestly, the easiest one to get that doesn't require any of those like very specific items would probably be the Ophistia weapons, since those only require 4 different weapons along with X cubes.
Yep, the Ophistia is really, really easy here. One of the Invade weapons, one of the Ares weapons, one of the Nemesis weapons, one of the Raven weapons, and 400 X cubes.
Yep. They're all, except for the Ares weapons, the other 3 are through Rising Badge 4. Which,
Yep.
if you're doing the Thanksgiving stuff, then yeah, you can easily get Rising Badge 4.
And then the Invade, wait, was it Rising Badge 4 or Unique Weapon Badge?
I believe it was Rising Badge 4.
I thought it was the other one here, the one for the Atlas X that was Rising Badge 4.
I could check here real quick. Okay, the Judas is part of the Rising Badge 4, along with the Detonation and Claudium.
So those are going to be for the Shion series.
Yep.
But the Judas is for the Atlas.
Yeah, it is actually the unique weapon badges for the Invade, Nemesis, Raven weapons.
Yep. So yeah, it's when it comes to the Atlas weapon or Atlas X weapon, this is the one that's sort of the most complicated of all of them.
Yep.
Because it's like you're smashing like what is it, like 5 or 6 weapons together here in the end. So
starting with, I'll just do the easiest one here. Getting the Chevelle weapon. You start with the Evlita weapon, which you can either get from a drop or from the collection file. Just note that with the collection file, you need 5 copies of it so that you can get it to plus 35. From a drop, it's already at 35.
That's 6 copies.
Yeah, so I believe you can get those through the Enchanted Forest right now. So that would honestly be the best place to do that.
Yep. Or of course you can always just pick it up off the player market.
Yep. And then to boost it up to the Chevelle weapons, you need Clesis boosters and then Chevelle boosters. These you get through Buster Quest. You go on to the high-ranking Buster Quests, which you need to get up to rank 3, along with being... Yeah, it's the main match advanced. You need to be rank grade 3, along with being 80-80. So doing that is the best way to grind up Clesis boosters and Chevelle boosters. Or you can get Buster badges, which then, if you just want to do the Buster badge route, then you can just do the free match then, since free match is the best way to get Buster medals.
Yep. By the way, hang on to those Chevelle boosters, even if you finish the weapon. Those are going to become useful once the 13-star units releases.
Oh, definitely. Because right now you can grind up or take the Evlita units and then get them up to the Clesis units. 13-star will be the Chevelle units. So yeah, definitely hold on to those Chevelle boosters. I believe you'll need 100 of them in order to upgrade them, just like with the Clesis units.
Yeah, it takes a lot, that's for certain.
Yeah. It's a lot of Buster Quest, and it's a lot of time that you get to hear the Buster Tower is taking damage.
Yep. So once you got the...
just 30 seconds into the fight, the Buster Tower is taking damage! Because nobody is on the right side.
Yep. Especially if there's a double accident going on.
Oh, boy. Luckily, I've never failed a Buster Quest yet, but I've been damn close to it.
I think there's been one failure, and it was because of AFK players.
Yep. I haven't been seeing them as often whenever I do the Buster Quest now. It's still annoying whenever you find one person who's like that, but it's not as common as it used to be.
But let's see. Once you get past the Chevelle weapon, then of course you need some other stuff here. You need to get a Judas weapon to plus 35. Once again, you can just exchange your Rising Weapon Badge 4s for those. And then you need a Supernatural weapon. These are the weapons that are dropping off of the Buster Quests from the various enemies, as well as in the Enchanted Woods. So you need to get one of those weapons to plus 35. As well as use 50 of the Chaos Melosis Stone That then turns it into the enhanced version of the supernatural weapon.
Yes, so the Chaos Melissa Stones, those drop from the Omega bosses. And
Yep.
the only way to effectively farm for them is to do Enchanted Forest. Now, you can also get these Melissa Stones by trading Rising Weapon Badge 4. It's 2 badges for one of the stones. So if you don't feel like grinding out Enchanted Forest, that's another way you can do that. Because again, right now with getting Rising Weapon Badge 4 with this Thanksgiving event, it is extremely easy.
Totally agree on that one. And you basically smash those 3 weapons together, that creates your Luminaire weapon.
So and if you don't have the Atlas weapon yet, the Luminaire weapon is really good. Because I believe one of the abilities you can have is specifically through the Judas weapon is Spirit of the Paladin. Which also acts like a free Iron Will.
Yep. And then for the right side of the chart, to get your Atlas weapon, you need to first obtain a Vow weapon, which you can get through the third collection file that's available. And you also need a Chronos Eterna Stone, 999 Sapphire, and then 999 either Gold Neon, Gold Dust, or Gold Grimo. Those 2 items, the Sapphire and the Gold stuff, comes from desynthesizing items through crafting.
Yep. Honestly, it's extremely easy to do so nowadays with just, you take 12-star weapons. Any of the 12-star weapons, you can easily find them in player shops for extremely cheap. You desynth them into the silver ones, and then go to Recycle Shop to then upgrade them to the gold ones.
Yeah, you get a ton of that when you desynthesize one of those 12s. It's like, I think you can only do like 10 at a time in the desynthesizing before you have to bank them.
Yeah, because you max out over 900. It's exactly. I believe it's 10 per 1 gold. So it is a way to do it, but if you just want the gold ones, then you have to desynthesize 13-star weapons.
Yep. By the way, we're going to have to do all this again fairly soon for some other weapons that are coming up, and those are going to require 14-star and 15-star weapons being desynthesized.
Yep. But once Divide Quest comes out, getting 13-star and 14-star and 15-star weapons at that point is not that hard.
Agreed. Yep. Once you have your Luminaire weapon as well as your 14-star Atlas weapon set, then you just need to take 400 X cubes, smash those 2 weapons together as well as those X cubes, and that creates your 15-star Atlas X weapon. So yeah, Zig is doing overtime, basically, at this point on creating weapons.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he's gone out of retirement. Definitely.
Pretty much, yeah. So just going through the list of where you can get different items here one more time here. Void Airtight fragments are from an upcoming urgent quest. Founder's Appetite is from the current Mission Pass Season 9. Detonation weapons can be purchased with Verizon Weapon Badge 4, as well as come from the Urgent Quest Castrum Demonica, Hostility, and the Bewitched Woods. Claudium weapons can be purchased with Verizon Weapon Badge 4, and come also from the Bewitched Woods. The 13-star Allure weapons are purchased with Rising Weapon Badge 4, and come from the Urgent Quest Queen's Nightmare, Earth Death, as well as the Bewitched Woods. And the 13-star Zarya weapons can be purchased with Rising Weapon Badge 4, and also come from the Bewitched Woods. Do you want to take the rest of this?
I keep forgetting that the Bewitched, Enchanted Forest is called Bewitched Woods. I keep calling it Enchanted Forest because that's how I remember it.
It's what we know it as on the Japanese version.
So if I ever say Enchanted Forest, it's the same thing as Bewitched Woods. But yeah, most of these weapons, yeah, you can just farm Bewitched Woods for it. That is something I do remember doing on JP, spending about 2 hours in one day, just going around defeating bosses just for the chance of getting those weapons.
Yep. Did you want to take the rest of the list here? Or do you
Sure.
think we covered it?
We did already talk about where some of these come from as well, but it's nice that the site is just listing out where everything is. That's extremely good. Grinding for 8 hours. Yep. I can relate to that. So the Atlas weapons. Obviously, you can get the Atlas weapon from the Urgent Quest, the Crimson Fellworm over the castle. You upgrade the Val weapon with the Chronos Eterna Stone from at Zig's shop. So yeah, you can be lucky and get an Atlas weapon from that Urgent Quest, or just get the Val weapon and then upgrade it. Judas weapon comes from Rising Weapon Badge 4 or from Bewitched Woods. The Supernatural weapons drops in Bewitched Woods, Collection File, or the Buster Quest. Grinding is the daily life, yes! The Ivlita and Clesis weapons also come from Buster Quest, and same with the Chevelle weapons. And the Ivlita weapons can also drop from Collection File or Bewitched Woods. Clesis can be upgraded from the Ivlita, and the Chevelle can be upgraded from the Clesis. Again, you need 60 of the boosters in order to upgrade it on each step. Val weapon is the Urgent Quest's Crimson Fellworm over the castle, Bewitched Woods, and collection folders. Now, the Chronos Eterna Stone, it can drop from these Urgent Quests. It's extremely rare that it actually does. So if you actually get that from these Urgent Quests, consider yourself extremely lucky. The Crimson Fellworm over the castle, Black Fellworm rises from the ruins, Queen's Nightmare Sand City, and also a title award after upgrading a Val weapon. The photon boosters are useful now. Oh, that's... Yeah, photon boosters are useful for exchanging for EXPs. Or like the 75% EXP, I believe?
It's what is it? It's 402 experience on each of those weapons, I think.
Okay. Oh, 400 EXP on each. Oh, that's actually nice.
Yeah, I think it's 2 for the base weapon, and then the augment then gives you an additional 400.
Nice. So, getting the 15-star Ophistia series. This is the easiest one. It only requires 4 weapons. Invade weapons is from some extreme quests, purchased with unique weapon badges. The Ares weapons drops from Ultimate Quest. The Nemesis weapons drop from Ultimate Quest, or purchased with unique weapon badges. And the Raven weapons also drop from Ultimate Quest, or purchased with unique weapon badges. So yeah, if you have I will say this, if you have a trigger for, I believe it was the Nest, the Darker's Nest. I forget what the trigger's called.
Cradle of Darkness?
Yes, the Cradle of Darkness. So if you have that trigger, do it with people, and get a PSE burst. It is the best way to just rack up all the unique weapon badges.
Yep, and those triggers come from your alliances. So basically, you just have your alliance spend some points, and you'll get those triggers.
Yep, and once we get our tree fully done, we're going to be mostly spending our points on triggers.
Probably, yeah. That and the Triboost.
Yep. Yeah,
All
I know.
right,
We need to go through triggers.
Yeah, it takes a while, and plus they keep giving them out to everybody, so it's like.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move on to the big event that was released this week here, Thanksgiving in PSO2. So
Yes.
Gobble Gobble.
So we have the Thanksgiving lobby, and I'm surprised on the forum that nobody complained about it. What a shocker! No, I'm actually surprised nobody on the forum complained about it.
Yeah, I mean, if you want me to complain, there's one thing I can complain about, and we'll get to that shortly here. But the lobby itself is actually kind of nice looking.
Yes.
Granted, we don't have the autumn lobby this time, but it's I guess this will replace it going forward here.
Yeah, and also on the JP side, they also got the Thanksgiving lobby, which is funny.
I think that comes out next week.
Okay. But yeah, the Thanksgiving is an American holiday. I don't know, I don't think it's celebrated anywhere else in the world. I think it's just purely an American thing.
Yeah,
So that's very interesting that they would have that on the Japanese server as well.
I think Canada does a version of it.
Yes, but theirs is much earlier than the United States one.
Yeah. So let's.
They've already had it.
Yeah. So if you're hungry for Thanksgiving decor, then you're sure to be stuffed after visiting the shopping plaza of your ship. ARKS HQ has really flown the coop with the Thanksgiving theme, and Rappy takes center stage. Though in this case, he's probably prefer not to. Oh, and the medical bay would like to remind operatives not to eat any of the display items, regardless of how good they look. That's a fun one to have in there.
Also,
right.
The level cap increased in JP. Yeah, they finally increased it to 100.
I think that's coming in the near future.
Oh, it is? I
think it's going up to 100. What, next week or the week after? I think.
Let me check here.
It's supposed to happen when the next of the Ultimate Quest comes out.
Okay.
The one with the final boss solo fight, which goes up to a depth of 100. While you're looking at that here, so a festive and well-timed gathering of winged ones. A situation has arisen where winged creatures and false spawn are gathering en masse on the floating continent of Amaduskia. Little do they know, this is not the best time to be encouraging an ARKS hunt, as Zia has quite a few mouths to feed for her upcoming feast. It may be a good idea to stop by and visit her in the shopping plaza before heading to the gateway to take on this quest. Operatives are to head to the floating continent and determine the reason this flock is gathering. You have 30 minutes to complete your investigation, and each enemy defeated will reward you not only with combat experience, but with points, with 1,126 quest points being required for quest completion. Okay, that's not right. It's not every enemy. It's just the emergency trials that award quest points. Due to the somewhat uneven terrain, ARKS HQ has deployed a few catapults and dash panels that we had left over from the summer training event. When at a dash panel, pressing, and this could be different depending upon if you customize your hotkeys, but pressing E will temporarily enable high-speed movement to cross terrain. Touching another dash panel will extend the effect. You can jump or kick while under the effects of the dash panel, and the kick can be powered up to 3 times by chaining the use of dash panels. Catapults will send you soaring in the direction indicated. Be sure to explore every inch, as some catapults may take you to otherwise unreachable areas. So get out there and pluck some feathers so you can get your camel turkey leg weapon, which works for all weapons.
That's interesting. Also, I found out level cap increase in JP will happen on December 2nd.
Yep, so not that far away.
Yep.
So, the big thing I need to say about this whole urgent quest. This is a rehash of the White Day urgent quest from 2017.
Yep.
Yeah, that's all I can really say about it. It's the same map. It's exactly the same map. There's just a difference in what enemies they included here. And in fact, I think that's actually causing some issues here, in the fact that you can have enemies remaining at the end. Plus, you're sort of encouraged on your last run to actually stick around in that quest for until the timer runs out or gets close to running out, and then you take on the final group of enemies to help boost what you're going to get in that drop crystal.
I actually didn't think about that.
Yeah, it's a really weird way to do it. That's for certain. In terms of the rewards from this, there is the Occult series, which are 14-star weapons, and they are all-class weapons. Each and every single one of them is an all-class weapon, which means if you still don't have 14-star weapons, or if you're looking to upgrade your all-class weapons, here you go.
Yep. And it is the best all-class weapons that you can get.
Pretty much, yeah. There are some coming up for the Christmas urgent quest coming in the near future, which is going to include a 14-star Christmas tree, which acts as a sword. But beyond that, yeah, this is basically what you should be using if you're trying to use an off-class weapon, basically. You've also got on them the Augment Turkey Fever, which frankly is one of the worst augments I've seen in quite some time.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
In terms of enhancements, depending upon which one we're looking at here, you can either have an element sync of Fire and Light, Fire and Ice, Wind and Light, or Lightning and Dark. For each of those, potency increases and HP recovery when the elemental weakness matches the two elements that are listed here. And then you've also got the Augment Factor Phrase Weak, whereby elemental weakness damage increases 2%. So, that's one of the more interesting augments to have, because if you've got the correct element to use against enemies, that's just a flat 2% damage increase. That's going to be better than really any of the other augments that you could put on a weapon, which would give you like an extra 40 or 50 attack.
Mm-hmm. So basically, if your element is light, best to get the light element one.
Yep. Let's see, we also got a Grateful Zia. Zia wants to make sure that those on Fleet Oracle feel appreciated during Thanksgiving, so she'd like to host a feast for all. Problem is, she's a bit short on event staff and could use an extra pair of hands. There are a few errands she'd like for you to run, and in exchange you'll receive Thanksgiving Badge 2020s, which can be used to purchase some fun Thanksgiving-themed items and Rising Weapon Badge 4s. These badges can be exchanged as currency for weapons and other items on the second floor of the shopping plaza. As if all this wasn't good enough, Thanksgiving Badge 2020s can also be used to purchase roasted turkeys. Roasted turkeys is a consumable item and provides a 50% try boost for 10 minutes. And once again, you can stack that up to 120 minutes by using it over and over.
Yep. And it's a 50% try boost on top of whatever try boost that you also have.
Yep. So I would suspect in about a week we're going to have a bunch of people using that, plus all their experience boosters and everything else that they can to use up a bunch of gold keys for bonus missions.
22nd, that's the premium PSO2 day. So that's when I'm going to get my hunter up to 90.
Yep, and it technically should still be around even for the next regular premium day, which is going to be on the 2nd of December. So, in terms of rewards that you can get, you're able to purchase a Turkey Rappy Mini outfit, as well as
adorable.
Yep. It's weird that it's wearing a headdress that has a turkey on top.
Yep. It's just adorable.
Yeah. Actually, that turkey up there kind of looks like, what is it? One of those birds that you can press down on, and it just makes sound when you when you let the air back in.
Oh, the rubber chickens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. It's a rubber chicken it's wearing on its head.
Yep. We've also got a pilgrim outfit, starting with a pilgrim dress for female races. And then you've also got the pilgrim hairstyle, pilgrim hat, and a harvest basket accessory. And then you've also got some furnishings here, a giant turkey, autumn wreath, and an autumn swag. And then, of course, we got the turkey Rappies here. For some reason, Rappy loves Thanksgiving, too.
Mm-hmm. Even though they're birds, they should be terrified.
Yeah, I don't get it either. Actually, at this point, Rappies like this can't die, keep in mind.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, they are the ascended.
Flee.
They're the ascended Rappies of the series. It's. So if you take them down once again, you'll get that really bad turkey fever. But you also can get the Rappy Soul, which also isn't that good. It's 30 dex, although. The big thing that they give you is all of the Rappy Suit minis that we have yet to receive here. So,
several of them. Actually, no, we haven't received these. Actually, we
had
like mag devices of them.
Exactly. So this is basically the collection of Rappies that you see in the casino Rappy slots.
Yep.
Actually, no, I don't think there was ever a black one in there.
Don't think so. All the other ones I've seen before.
Yeah, so here's your Love Rappy, and then the Lovey Rappy, which, once again, that goes to the fact that in Japan, Valentine's is sort of broken up into two holidays between Valentine's Day and White Day. One is the giving gifts on Valentine's Day, and White Day is then the answer to Valentine's Day.
Yep, so where Valentine's Day is giving gifts to, like a female, a White Day is the female gives gifts to the male.
Yep. It is not intended to be any sort of negative connotation or anything like that. That's just how they celebrate it over in Japan, even with that name. Yep. We've also got the Frog Rappy here, as well as the Summer Rappy Suit. Actually, we might have gotten this one during the summer event, and we did get the Rappy Lantern mini as well.
No, we've just been getting the mags. I don't think we've been getting any of the suits.
I have one in my bank right now for the Lantern mini. Yeah,
okay.
That was from the battle event.
Oh yeah, it was.
All right. Aside from that, we've also got. Let's see. What do they talk about here? Limited time ARKS missions. In the process of completing campaigns or gathering materials. That's right. So ARKS missions, not quests, but ARKS missions. That's where they've got objectives like talking to Ethan, completing 3, 5, and 10 trials a day, and also getting your
lobby.
Yeah.
Yep. So the main character from Phantasy Star Universe, Ethan Weber, he is in the lobby, and you can get his and who's the other person?
Karen Era.
Yeah, Karen. You can get both of their support cards.
Yep, we'll get more into that in a little bit here. Right now, we've got this pretty menacing face on the screen here, which is sort of the really big content aside from the story that was dropped this week here. Once again, this is going to go up to a depth of 999, and basically it even says it right here. Only senior ranking ARKs, those above level 80 on both main and subclass, should attempt this mission, as it is to be done solo. Your supplies will be limited, such that scape dolls and half-scape dolls won't save you. And there is a 15-minute time limit on this.
Mm-hmm.
You've got 10 minutes, or you've got 10 attempts at this quest each day, but what they really mean is you can clear the quest 10 times a day. If you fail, you can just retry.
Yep.
And
the counter only goes down after you clear it. It doesn't matter what depth you clear it on, too. So. Yep.
And as of right now, the timer on that is incorrect. It's actually resetting at 5 p.m.
Yeah, it's weird.
Or actually, no, it's actually noon. That's resetting at PST.
It's resetting at noon for some reason.
Yeah,
and I don't understand why.
But that's something that one of the GMs has taken notice of, so we might see that change in the near future.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a quest that actually has some story significance if you're able to clear it, in that the area itself transforms once you hit a depth of 10 and then 30. And the upcoming urgent quest basically has a reference back to this fight. especially on the ultra hard mode, which will be coming during episode 6.
Oh boy, is this fight good.
Yeah.
It is the sole reason why I actually enjoyed episode 5, is purely because of that solo fight.
It is a dance, to be certain.
Mm-hmm. Now, the big thing is that he does telegraph every single one of his attacks. So just pay attention to how he does his attacks and then just counter it each time. And if you're playing as a hero, yeah, you have the hero counter. But here's the big kicker. If you keep spamming the same move against him, he will eventually be immune to that attack. Which also includes doing counters.
Yep. So for a hunter, I would recommend just using the strategy of stop hitting yourself over and over, but also get your normal attacks and your regular photon arts in when you can, and make sure you carry a sword, a wired lance, and a partisan, and really do that for every weapon that you can on any other class that you're bringing.
Yep, and with hero, I've done pretty well just using sword and TMG. Most of the time I start off with TMG, which, yeah, the damage is slower, but it allows me to then save my harder hitting ones for when he's in his second phase.
Yeah, for Hunter, I try to get my blaze parries out of the way early in the fight, so I don't have to worry about timing as much during the second phase.
That is true, because his timing is a lot easier to predict on the first phase than it is on the second one. Again, every single one of his attacks are very predictable. So if you just pay attention to how he moves, then you can easily figure out like what attack he's about to do and then be able to counteract it.
Yep, and then the other thing I would recommend is, as you're trying to learn the timing of certain moves, just bring an all-class rod or wand with you, or talus, so that way you can have the additional iframes, just so you can kind of learn more and more how those attacks work until you're actually confident in being able to dodge it with your regular weapon. So from this mission, you can also get some pretty powerful augments. You got the Persona Soul, which has 30 range defense, 10 HP, and 3 photon points. Then the really powerful Persona Reverie. So 40 melee, 40 range, 40 technique, and then minus 20 to all your defenses.
Basically, you're gonna be a glass cannon, and for a hero who is already a glass cannon, yeah, just go for that.
Yep. So this is kind of the point where now you're able to really start to put things together. So grab yourself a Persona Reverie, an Apprentice Soul, one of your main stat augments, plus an item that you can use up, and that basically gives you 160 on an augment on just 4 of them, and that still gives you plenty of room for S rank augments. You also get the Reverie Catalyst from this. Collect 4 to enable Omega Memoria Synthesis. Besides that, it also gives you 10 HP and 1 photon point. And speaking of S rank augments, you have Dance with Death, which potency increases up to 3 levels based on the number of times you take damage. At the highest level, you are reduced to 1 HP, and you damage those around you. There's also an S2 here, Runner's High. While dashing, photon point recovery increases 100%, and you recover HP every 5 seconds. There's a second S2, Skillful Adept 2, which gives you critical rate plus 15%. You have an S3 here of Luminous Grace 2, photon point recovery speed increases by 20%. And then an S4 of Rainbow Balance. When flower, sea, leaf, moon, snow, or shadow are active, photon point consumption decreases by 30%, but photon point recovery also drops by 30%. And these are not the only ones that you can get from this. There are other ones that come from this as well.
A lot of them aren't really that great, but there are some that are really good.
Yep, definitely. And there's
The
also
ones I've gotten so far from drops, yeah, they're not the good ones.
Yep. Yeah, you have to really go into the depths to get that.
Yeah.
There's also a feature reward here, which is a random drop, but you can get this eventually. Mask of Vane, which is a 12-star unit.
Mm-hmm.
And this comes with 60 attack on each of the stats.
Also, something I should mention is you do get an accessory after you complete Def 10. It is a back accessory. It's like two tethered capes on your shoulders.
Yep.
Really cool. I actually currently have it equipped on my character because it just looks cool.
Yep. And then there's a B version of that if you get all the way to Def 999.
Yep. It is the ultimate, yeah, look at me, I'm good at this game.
Yep, pretty much. Alright, so, speaking of Phantasy Star Universe earlier, Ethan and Karen have taken their interplanetary patrolling to another world, and that's not just a saying. They really did, since they wound up on Fleet Oracle. They're going to need some assistance in finding a way back to their world, and so far they have no idea where to start looking. As they're unfamiliar with the hazards of the ARK sphere of influence, they're going to need an escort, and you're just the operative to do it. Not only will you have the pleasure of their company permanently, as you can receive their partner cards, but you may also wind up with some weapon camos too. Check out what you'll receive down here for their client orders. So you can get the Giant Slicer, the Kreia Doubles, and the Dagger of Seraphi, all these weapon camos.
Yep. All of them were Phantasy Star Universe weapons, obviously.
Yep. And as we mentioned before, the 15-star weapon exchange is available. Let's go ahead and move on to the next thing that we have here, which is the AC and Fun Scratch Designer Dreams 2.
So this is the current one that's active, and we do actually have another one that is going to be coming up in, I believe, 3 days that we'll be talking about next here.
Yep. So let's take a look at Designer Dreams 2 here. So here's the Imogen. Kind of a nice looking armor here.
Yeah, I've noticed that most of the theme for the Designer Dreams is mostly like sci-fi-ish stuff. By the looks of it.
I think this is all from fan-submitted ideas, actually.
Yeah, they are. That's why I believe that's why they called it Designer Dreams.
Yep.
So yeah, on the JP side, fans were able to design their own outfits, and then they got put into the game.
Yep. Hopefully we'll be able to do that on our side soon.
That would be nice. Especially when
it looks pretty nice.
Adding in... having both JP and North American fans being able to add armors or outfits into the game, that would be nice. Yep.
Yeah, we had the hand wings a moment ago, and then we got this Genesis cape.
Also,
and
I'm just interrupting here, but I'm actually playing PSO2 right now, and I just got a 14-star weapon drop.
Congratulations! What'd you get?
Demonia Feather.
Gotcha. So that works great for Hero.
Yeah. Okay, so back to talking about the weapons here. Fantasy mode. I love that. It's a Jet Boots weapon camo. And it's just like a dreamscape kind of weapon.
Yep. And we got the Ultra Divide, gives you 2 different looking blades on each side of that.
Double saber weapon camo looks like. Of course, we got our usual dances.
And the cardboard box.
Yeah, the male one just popped right out of the cardboard box. Great.
Yep. So, the other thing, of course, we have to mention is that this is where the lewds really come into play here.
Yes! Bring them!
But first, we do have 2 Mecha Rappy suits here. A ruby and a yellow one here. And once again, you've got Some outerwear here, as well as basewear. The Blank Mermaid set looked pretty nice, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got a Sailor Swimwear.
That's
Awesome.
interesting. A sailor suit as a swimsuit?
Yeah. And I think they're trying to go for a Sailor Scout kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we got a bunch of accessories here. Some new hairstyles, including a Sailor Swim hair, which appears to have some cat ears on it. Frey Land's hair. You also got some Angel Wing long hair as well. And then another set of eyes this week here. Manga Eye C. Either large or small eyes. Narrow cat eyes.
Okay.
You also got some makeups here. Either a forehead makeup, as well as a hornet makeup. Some more chokers this week, and an Orville hood. You also got the emission gear here, which basically covers your face up with the headset there.
It looks... I like the more futuristic looking ones, honestly.
Yep. And here's the Frey Lands headset.
Yeah, I always thought that the futuristic ones fit PSO2 much better. Why I always found episode 5 stuff really out of place.
Yep.
We got... You can have a siren on your head? Okay.
Where you see that one?
The gill notch light.
Oh, up here.
Yep. It's just a siren on your head. All right. Just need the monkey outfit, and there you go. Now you can pretend you're playing Ape Escape.
I guess so, yeah.
We got a chew bone. Just have a bone in your mouth. You have fluffy ears. And that's good that they're putting it over the character's actual ears. Because that is a big problem when it comes to a lot of art, like kimono art, where it's 4 ears. They have the normal human ears along with the animal ears. That's not how you do kimono art.
Yep. Also got the photon fish here. And here is the Genesis cape. Also got the Chris Ribbon series here.
And we also got the best accessory in the entire game.
Yeah, there's no avoiding this one. The balloon bosom.
The ballooned bosom.
Yep. I saw a Rappy that had 4 of them on it.
It is objectively the best accessory in the game. Because why wouldn't you want to have a Rappy that just has 4 giant boobs all around it?
8.
8, yeah.
And New Genesis is going to increase that up to 12. You do also have the ball and chain accessory, so if you want to get more of your Persona 5 on.
I guess you just need the prisoner outfit then.
Yep. You also have for the dragon the claw boots as well as the claw fists.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I saw on Reddit.
Dragon outfit then, huh?
Yep. I saw on Reddit somebody put together a pretty unique outfit with these new claws. Can you take a guess at what it was?
I don't know. Wolverine?
So it was a cast.
Okay. Did they make Wolverine or
no?
Something?
But they are yellow.
Okay.
And
Renaemon? Oh no!
No.
Oh, War Greymon.
War Greymon. Yes, yeah. There you go.
If you mentioning cast there, that's what I thought. Yeah, War Greymon. That actually would be pretty cool.
Yep.
I need to look on the Reddit then to see that.
Yep. Yeah, that was a really good job on that one.
Yeah, Work Greymon has been one of my favorites with Digimon. Even though I'm not really that big of a Digimon fan.
Yeah, I was more on the Flame Dramon side, but yeah, it's interesting how that series took off in parallel with Pokemon back in the day.
I always found that funny because it was never trying to be a Pokemon clone. It was a
Exactly.
spin-off of Tomodachi.
Yep. Let's see. You've also got some soft ogre horns. And then once again we get into all the camos. Actually, we have an evolution device here. Hanu.
What is that from? The Hanu.
I'm not sure. You got the Obsidian Wings weapon camo bow, which is kind of nice. And then ASA weapon camo for Knuckles as well as Wand. But I think the best one out of all these is My Fist.
Yep, my fist. So basically, you just don't have any weapon it's just your fist. That's it. That's all it is for your Knuckles. It's just your fist.
Yeah, those are just some photon rings there. That's it.
Yep. Those rings go onto your hands, and you just punch normally.
Yeah.
It's great.
Once again, the typical assortment of item enhancements. Light is your elemental transition this week, so there you go. You can stock up on that if you want to. You've also got the Poke emote and the Fireworks 2 emotes, which we didn't see in the video before.
Yeah, the Poke emote kind of looks like the meme of, come on, do something.
Yep. And then, for the bonus rewards, you got the Wopal Seafood Platter, featuring some of the natives from the planet there.
I guess they're happy to be food, then?
I guess. And then you got the Marin and the Melon Cap.
Oh, that would be perfect for a summoner.
Yep. Just don't touch and hug it too much.
Nope, they'll explode.
And of course, we have a new fun scratch this week.
Yay, fun! And honestly,
I think that's
fun scratch. The stuff that you can get from it is kind of nice.
I think that's the first time. I think that's the first time you've come through on the line without it cracking.
Oh wow! Congrats to me.
But yeah, once again, some new hairstyles, makeup, the paperback accessory. When you just don't want to show your face.
Nope, you're too embarrassed.
Yep.
I messed up my augments 5 times in a row. I'm embarrassed to show my face around people.
Yeah. You got the flank wings here. As well as some Rappy-based stuff here. The carrot on a stick Rappy. Or carrot stick Rappy, rather.
You just got a little humming Rappy on your head. It's just adorable.
Yep.
Or the Rappy ears.
Yep, that's a headband accessory, so you're still going to see your regular ears there.
Yep.
Also got a toy rocket.
Combine that with the rocket emote. There you go.
Yep. Chomp Hanky. That's got to get annoying. Or try out your mouth.
Okay.
Coil anklets. And then there's a spell sign A set here.
So it's basically just like a tattoo thing on your head.
Yeah, and then I think at this point, then we get into the repeats from last week.
Yep, those are the repeats.
Now, aside from this, we were also given next week's AC Scratch a little bit early here, so let's take a look at that one now.
It is Arc System Works themed, specifically Blaze Blue and Guilty Gear.
Yep.
And
So
my
let's-
friend is a massive Guilty Gear fan, specifically when it comes, or like Guilty Gear and Blaze Blue fan. His favorite character in Blaze Blue is Noelle. And I've actually convinced him to start playing PSO2 because he can play as Noelle.
Nice. Yeah, I've never been into that series, so I really don't know much about these characters, to be honest.
It's a fighting game.
I at least know that
That's the only
much.
thing you really need to know about it. There are a good amount of story stuff in Blaze Blue and Guilty Gear, like with the main character, the good guy, being called Soul Bad Guy. Always found that funny.
Gotcha.
But the reason why there's both Guilty Gear and Blaze Blue, and why there's characters that are very similar between the two, because Arc System Works briefly lost the right to make Guilty Gear games, so they made Blaze Blue and just made the characters very similar to the ones in Guilty Gear.
Gotcha.
That's why Ragna kind of looks like Soul.
Hmm.
Also, there's a female replica of Ragna. That's honestly pretty cool. And I've noticed that with several of them. With several of these characters, you've also got both a male and female version of them.
Yep, definitely seems like that way.
And also,
He's-
Jin is pretty much Kai. That's another like blatant similarity.
Yep. These seem to be all outfits here. I'm not seeing any of like the inner and base wear and things like that.
Yeah, those are all outfits. And there's Noelle. That's my friend's favorite character.
Gotcha.
And Moo replica. Yes. It is very skimpy. That's Moo.
Let's be honest. You can get skimpier in the game already.
Oh yeah.
Got a bunch of hairstyles here.
So yeah, part of the reason why I ran out of a lot of the money is because I got all the stuff for my friend, specifically to make Noelle.
Gotcha.
The hair
Hopefully
is-
you'll be able to build that back up soon.
Yeah, the hair is so expensive. And that is something I've realized with all the AC scratches. It's always the hair that is the most expensive part.
Yeah. Also got some weapon camos here, it looks like.
Most of them are of the characters, specific weapons. I don't know. I actually didn't remember like the exact names of these weapons before. Oh yeah, I love Soul Bad Guy's weapons though. It is obviously a sword. And a blood scythe for Ragna.
And the camos keep going here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of camos, and yeah, for the full Noelle set, you also need those guns.
That anchor's kind of nice.
Doesn't seem like any of these emotes are Blaze Blue or any of the Arc System Works related things. They're just emotes.
Yep. And then Florent and Fleur. That is going to be from the story of PSO2. Blow bubbles. Interesting. So yeah, once again, just it looks like it's just all outfits this week, including several color variants on them.
Yeah, there are a lot of outfits in this.
Yep. Some outerwear and basewear, but looks like they are at least one of them is Florent based here.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also the Clarissa costume as well. Both characters from Chapter 5 of Episode 5.
Seems so weird to have those kind of outfits in this specifically Arc System Works scratch.
I agree. It's kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Clarissa costume innerwear as well here. And then... yeah, once again, just a bunch of character hairstyles and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I'm making sure that all my money's safe for this.
I just hope to have enough stocked back up when the time comes.
Oh yeah, this is where all my money's gonna go to. I swear. Just getting the Noel stuff is gonna be the most expensive.
And for consumables, you got the Elemental Transition Dark this time, which, getting into Episode 6, you would actually want to start considering picking one or two of those up at this point.
Yeah, the Luminous enemies are light, so they're going to be weak against Dark.
Yep. And with that, actually no bonus items this week. Apparently, also not a new fun scratch either, unless they're going to release information about that later next week.
They might. Especially since they released info about this scratch early.
Yep.
Yep, get your wallets ready.
Yep. Alright, moving on from that, let's talk about PSU collaboration packs.
So, these collaboration packs, I believe they're $20 each for all of them. They are tradable, by the way, so if you don't want to spend the money for these, you can just buy them from player shops. They're going to be expensive, obviously, but these are all characters from the Phantasy Star Universe games and also portable, since I see Vivian as part of there.
Yep. Definitely the Neo Magashi replica suit. That's probably one I'm going to be looking to get here. Blank eyes are also kind of nice here as well.
Because Magashi has blank eyes.
Yep. It's a really nice one for a cast, that's for certain.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the Magashi face. And they have quite the dong there on their forehead.
Yes, the Summoner Dong.
Final Fantasy 14 reference there.
Yep. And also 11, because 11 also has the Summoner Dong.
True. And I guess Jaw as well here. So that's the Magashi set. You've also got the Hauser pack, which gives you the Luminous coat.
Oh,
as well as a base. Hauser was basically the person behind Magashi, the one that was basically leading. Was he leading or was he the second in command of the Illuminus? I can't remember now. I need to double check that.
I never fully played through the story in base PSU. I have for portable. Hence why I remember Vivian. She's one of the main characters in portable.
Yeah, Hauser didn't show up until episode 2, I want to say, of the Illuminous story.
Okay.
It might have been episode 3. And then there's this option here for no highlights eyes. Interesting. And then there's a Hauser skin here, which basically just gives you a slash across your chest.
Mm-hmm.
And then here we have the VVN set here. So there's the VVN replica for female races, as well as her hairstyle.
Yeah, Vivian's an interesting character. I believe whenever you first meet her in the beginning of the game, she was just created not too long ago.
Yep. Yeah, and Cass and Garal, they're technically living things to a degree in the fact that they don't know how to speak correctly at the start.
Mm-hmm.
You've also got the VVN Punisher accessory here. And also a VVN panel furnishing.
So you just have a picture of her on the ground, I guess.
I guess. She also comes with the VVN Dash emote. And then there's also the Helga pack here. Why don't you talk to us about that one?
Actually, with Vivian, I don't remember ever her using twin machine guns or the dual pistols. I always remember her main weapon being the double saber.
Yeah, I remember that as well. Not sure what made the change here.
I don't know. And Helga. I don't remember Helga in Universe. Where was she at again?
She was episode 3. She
Oh.
was...
That's why I don't remember her, because I never looked at episode 3.
Yeah, she was basically the one that corrupted Mother Brain.
Okay. Yeah, with the Helga set, you get her outfit, hair, makeup, gloves, and 2 different colored hats.
Yep. What I'm surprised they didn't include was her crazier hair when she basically goes full-on seed mode.
Hmm.
Alright, let's move on to the campaigns that are going on here.
There's a lot.
Yep. So starting off, as of right now this week, they're giving out free Tokyo bonus key golds for every day that you log in. You also got a trigger if you had a character created before November 11th. For the festive song for Winged Ones. That's the current urgent quest. There is also a client order campaign going on right now. So if you complete EO's client order Party Maneuvers 1, you get a Tokyo bonus key gold. And complete Party Maneuvers 2, you get the Lillipin frame. Which
It's just
is
an
accessory.
body. That's all it is. It's just a floating frame.
Yep. Yep, so you could technically box yourself up if you wanted to. And then they've also got a story campaign going on. If you already completed all these, these are waiting for you in your Visiphone right now for you. You get a Tokyo bonus key gold for completing Deranged Researcher, and then you get the 437 Ready Launcher emote for clearing Florence requests.
Ready launcher. Is that the launcher emote?
I believe so.
Huh. So we are going to be getting the weapon emotes.
I guess so, yeah.
Interesting.
Alright, so next week, when the clock resets here, you're going to have yet another urgent quest pop up here, that being Unceasing Madness, which is, once again, the Dark Falls Gemini urgent quest, which is in the form of a Buster quest, where you're being attacked on 3 sides.
Yep. The towers are set up in like a 2x2 grid. So one tower on each of the 4 corners. And yeah, you'll have enemies coming from the front and from the left and right.
Yep.
And again, I will say this, if you're playing on super hard, you're going to fail. The damage is just not going to be there.
Yep. There's also the boost campaign, which we discussed earlier, continuing for the different urgent quests. Actually, no. Is that?
That will be beginning on. It's only going to be for 1 day. So
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, 300%
EXP.
EXP earned.
And it does not apply to triggers. It is just for the planned urgent quest or the unplanned ones. And then we get the last big urgent quest for episode 5, which is the Omega Persona.
Yep. Well, just Dark Falls Persona.
Yeah, Dark Falls.
Depending upon how they call them.
Yep.
Which is that one's going to be distributed on once
2 triggers, Malevolent Void and Dark Reveille.
So Dark Revelry, I think that's actually not this. I think that is what was a limited quest over on the Japanese version that ran for about a week or so. And it basically sent you into 2 of 4 different areas, each with a Dark Falls form in each area. And then at the end, you went into a battle arena in the city, the Ark City, that had you going up against all 4 of the Omega Falls at the same time.
Oh wow!
Or no, it was 2, and then as you killed 1, then another one would pop up for a total of 4 of them.
And I'm guessing the Malevolent Void is the Dark Falls Persona fight.
I think that's what it is. Yes.
Okay. And we got even more urgent quest boosts. This time for 200%. Increase.
Yep.
It will go on on the 28th of November and the 5th of December.
Yep.
And didn't you say December 6th we expect hopefully the or not December 6th, around early December is when we hope to see episode 5, right?
Episode 6 and December 9th.
December 9th. Okay.
So
that falls on a Tuesday, right?
A Wednesday.
Yeah, it's a Wednesday. Okay.
Yep. So we're getting close.
Yes, we are.
All right. Moving on here, we do have the new urgent quest schedule here. So, once again, this week was featuring the festive song of Winged Ones. And then, starting next week, you got the Castrum Demonica Madness.
And that's the one I'm going to see a lot of people complain about they're not able to clear on super hard. I'm ready for all those 4 boasts.
Agreed. Also still got some Arcs League going on.
That's odd. I don't understand that.
Yeah, neither do I.
Yeah. If they're going to continue doing that, all right, fine. I'll take it.
Yep. And urgent quests and concerts. So where's the concert for these 2 weeks?
Yeah, there are no concerts I've seen. Wait, Arcs League? Wait, no. Yeah, I don't see any concerts.
Yeah.
Huh.
So it's interesting that they left that in there.
Yeah, that's odd.
Yep, and once again...
Upgrade of the Luther fight, Festus Song and the Winged Ones.
And Queen's Nightmare, which is Apprentice.
Yep. So yeah, we have those 3 as the big ones for now. And then we also have the upcoming Buster Urgent Quest. But that's so weird that they say urgents and concerts when there's no concerts.
I know. I had to call that out.
Yeah.
Alright, so that takes us to the end of our updates for PSO2 this week. Let's get into the other big topic that we have this week. It was a complete surprise when it dropped because we were thinking, okay, it's like we just got a trailer and it's saying 2020, and it's like, okay, sometime later in this year. No, it dropped almost immediately after we found that trailer on the 9th.
Yeah.
And that being the Phantasy Star Portable 2 Infinity English localization patch.
It finally happened. After 6 years when this project started, it finally happened. We got the definitive version of Portable 2 now in English.
Yep.
And funny thing, when I looked at the Portable 2 Discord afterwards, and I saw that PSO Portable 2 specifically, the base game, has now dropped down to the other Phantasy Star games. This is now just specifically for 2 Infinity.
Yep.
Which makes sense.
Yep, I'm sure the team is probably going to be working on like a 1.1 patch at some point for anything that got missed during their testing. But I'm kind of curious what they're going to be doing next after all this, because I know that they said that they wanted to take like a year break off. I think Jam Rules did at least, and maybe Wayu. But personally, I'm hoping that they're willing to help out with the Nova team to finally figure out what's going on with the text disappearing bug, because that is basically completely halting any possibility of doing the story translation.
Yeah. Which is a shame. I did try Nova, and I didn't really like it that much, but it would be nice to get the story translated.
Yeah, because that's like the only Phantasy Star left to really be translated.
That is true. It is the only one now that doesn't have a full translation.
Yep. But in terms of Phantasy Star Portable 2 Infinity, main additions to Infinity over the base game were a whole new story mode and an original story, plus the original story of Episode 1 was also included, so you basically got an Episode 2 out of it. You got the new Dooman race that came with its own special powers.
Honestly, the Dooman race is not that great.
Yeah, it's like they're glass cannons.
Like, to an extreme. And if you know about how how not that easy it is to dodge most attacks in Universe, even in Portable 2 with all the dodging and blocking, it's still not that easy to dodge attacks. It's not that great.
Yep.
You'll be dying a lot.
They also added more difficult missions, areas, new bosses, skills, abilities, and more. That include a new mission type called Infinity Missions, which has semi-randomly generated maps, and the player can customize their stats to a degree.
Yeah, the Infinity Codes, as they're called.
Yep. There was also more power progression, so new and more powerful loot and more ways to improve weapons, plus a rebirth system which allowed you to reset your level to 1 while keeping some of your stats.
So the way that the rebirth system works is, depending on what level you get to, it will be how many points that you get in order to distribute to different stats. There is a cap on them, and theoretically it would be best to get up to level 200 before rebirthing, but you can just go up to 50 constantly and rebirth over and over and over and over and over again just to rack up those points, but honestly that is the slowest way to do it.
Yeah, I think with if you go up to 200, I think you only need to like rebirth 5 or 6 times to completely max out your character.
So basically, you get these permanent stat increases that, but while you do reset the level 1, you can boost up your attack by 500 max, I believe. So at level 1, you have an attack of attack plus 500 on your character, which is insane.
Yep, and that makes those early levels much easier.
Mm-hmm. And you also have Magashi Plan, which, if you have Spellstone saved up like I did, you can easily get up from level... So I decided to do this randomly at level 17 just to see how well I could do that. And I got up to level 41. And now after only doing doing Magashi Plan 3 times, I've gotten up to level 69.
Yeah, that's better EXP even than doing the rare missions that pop up every now and then.
Mm-hmm. Enemies are extremely easy to kill, although they can also hit hard.
Yep.
And you gain a lot of experience points out of it. I had to, I briefly checked to make sure I didn't have CW cheats on when I was getting as much XP as I was. Because I completely forgot how much EXP you get from Magashi Plan.
Yeah, and I think that was one that was ported over from Universe, if I remember correctly.
I know of a couple of missions that were ported over.
But moving on here, for quality of life changes, you can now lock items to prevent accidentally selling them, and among other things, storage space has been doubled from 1,000 to 2,000 items. And then they rebalanced gameplay from the original Phantasy Star Portable 2. Some weaker skills have been improved, and vice versa. Two-handed swords are much faster in Infinity, for example, which made them more popular this time around.
Mm-hmm.
And then as for a new feature, you can now invite your own characters as AI partners, or those of friends who have shared a snapshot of their character with you. I got the GH500 device, which basically turned my partner machine into a dragon.
Nice. Also, I will have one negative I will say about Infinity. The sound quality of sound effects. It is not as good.
Yep, same for the music.
Yeah, compared to Portable 2, because here's the thing. They had to compress that stuff in order to add in the much extra content that Portable 2 Infinity has. They had to compress some things in certain aspects, hence why the music and sound effects is not as good as Portable 2 base.
Yep, keep in mind those were on UMD discs when the game came out. That was the PSP's proprietary disc.
Were a terrible format.
Yep.
I honestly wish they had a DLC that allowed for the much higher quality music and sound effects. They never did that.
Yeah, it's a shame that that wasn't possible. But there was some DLC that was available for this as well, and the patch does support that.
Yeah, not for the paid ones, but for all the free ones that are still downloadable off of Sega's official website.
Yep,
can still they are translated, so that's nice.
Yep.
So they have an installation guide here of using Elks Delta UI in order to patch it. It's extremely easy to do it. All you need is a copy of Infinity and then patch it with the patch.
It was weird. I had an issue with mine in that I had ripped my copy several years ago, and it actually didn't work, so I had to re-rip the thing to get it working.
Oh.
So it's possible the file might have gotten corrupted over the years since I ripped it. And then they also have a note here about if you're using the PPSSPP emulator, there's a certain font that you want to have installed on there in order to get the how things are supposed to look in the game.
Yeah, when it comes to the PSP font, it looks good on a PSP, but on PPSSPP it does not look that good. It's very, I guess, stretched is the best way to put it.
It looks like there's some separation of the characters here between the two fonts.
Yeah, it's less bold. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
And honestly, I play this game on my Vita, so I sometimes play on PPSSPP, but most of the time when I'm playing Portable 2 and now Portable 2 Infinity, I'm playing on my Vita.
Yeah, they say that there may be some typesetting issues if you use the PPSSPP font, so just be aware. And then they also provide information on how to convert your US Phantasy Star Portable 2 save file over to Infinity as well here.
Yep, you do need a Japanese version of Portable 2 in order to get this to work. Because once you convert the save file, then you need to load that save file up on your Japanese copy of Portable 2.
Yep. And then you can then port it over to Phantasy Star Portable 2 Infinity.
Yep. Which I did. So I have my beautiful cast character that I made back when I was 12.
Yep. And this is a free patch, so you don't have to pay anything for it. It's just you just got to make sure you got the appropriate game or games, depending upon if you're going to convert your save.
Yeah, when it comes to getting the actual games, yeah, that's up to you.
And they do also have some known tech issues here that they've noted here, including untranslated lines from a Japanese save, emulator save quirks. Basically, just don't use save states. Use the regular saving system instead. Auto word UI overlap in the friends search section. Open mission progress wall in story mode. Data install crash. Don't install. You're already using a SSD or a hard disk, so you don't need to do that. There's a potential music looping issue. PPSSPP movie playback glitch. Multi-mode crash. If you get that, just toggle Wi-Fi off and on. You can do that through the emulator settings if you're using that. There's a challenge Infinity mission selection crash. If that happens, just re-download the DLC. There's an infinite mission loading bug in multiplayer. Seems to only affect Windows 7 devices, so that might be a reason for you to upgrade. And there can be some random freezes. Internet multi-mode missions can't be played, and they're internet only, so that kind of makes sense, yeah. And to what you said before, paid DLC doesn't work. Yeah, so there's some bugs in here, but they still did an amazing job here after releasing this after 6 years. The only thing that's still sort of present that I've noticed out of all of it is the controller latency issue that was particularly bad in this particular game.
Oh?
It's just like I go to put in an input for an attack or a block or something like that, and it just doesn't even register. I
haven't had that kind of issue before. I think that's more so because I actually do play on real hardware when it comes to this game. So I think that might be an issue just with PPSSPP. I don't know.
I remember it on my regular PSP as well, though. Maybe I'll see if I can port the ISO to my Vita TV and see if I can make that work.
Oh yeah, and I believe there are some upscaling things you can do for PSP emulation on the PS TV.
Yep. Plus, there's an HP or an HD texture pack that's being worked on as well.
I don't know if it works on real hardware or not. I would like to try that out. But just know that like blowing up a PSP game with the native resolution onto a TV, it just looks bad.
It's 480p.
Yeah. But it was meant for a smaller screen, so blowing that up, it just doesn't look that great.
Yep, that's for certain. All right, so that pretty much brings us to everything that I had here. Did you have anything else that you wanted to add here, Zance?
Play Portable to Infinity. The team spent 6 years in getting this English patch fully done. Play it. It's not hard to apply the patch.
Yep. Yeah, it's definitely one of the games I'll be visiting sometime in the future once I get to that point in the Geralt story. I need to get back to Ambition of the Illuminous. I put that thing on hold when I made the transition over to Twitch, and I've got 3 episodes I still need to edit together before I can even get back to that.
And also, we need to play multiplayer on Infinity.
At some point, yeah.
Yeah.
Granted, I'm pretty under-leveled right now. I think I'm only like, level 19 or something like that, I think?
Alright. Well, I have alts I could play on, so...
Okay.
Still fine.
All right.
That's it from me.
Alright, and so that brings us to the end of this episode. On behalf of Zance and myself, thank you for joining us today. Day has dawned. Have a great day, everyone.
Johnny.